Hello and welcome to Eastern Horizon. This is Malaka Yubsumbul, and we are live streaming on X, Facebook, and YouTube. So, the US Naval Secretary John Phelan quits the Trump administration amid US Iran peace talks. The deadlock that is coming into the peace talks between the United States and Iran is getting prolonged, and Islamabad is all set for this second round of peace talks, but still the participants and the parties of the conflict is not expected to visit this venue that is staged in Islamabad. So Trump administration, it's not first time that the U.S. Secretary, Naval Secretary, is going to resign. But I think that previously we saw there was many high-profile resignations in the U.S. Army. So what's exactly going on into the U.S. military, especially in this U.S.-Iran conflict? I have joined a very distinguished guest from Syria. I have joined Middle East expert Dr. Taleb Ibrahim. He is the author of the book From Terrors to Khamenei, Iran the Nation, and Iran the State. And then I have joined from Islamabad Ali Abbas Ramay. He's a public policy analyst and a journalist. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Taleb, let
Thank
me
you.
go to you directly because you are
Yeah.
a researcher and a scholar and have some books on Iran. So, how you see this deadlock between the U.S. and Iran, and why it's getting prolonged? How you see this? That the things on both sides, why the ice is not melting on the poles?
Thank you, Malik, for getting me and greetings for our colleague Ali. I think both sides, United States and Iran, does not trust each other. Both sides are suspicious to the intentions of the other party. So it is very difficult to begin a dialogue immediately. And after this war, we must remember that United States and Iran spent about 50 years of complete hostility. This is first. Second, the last year, two times President Trump bombed Iran while Iran and United States and some international parties were preparing for negotiation. At the time of negotiation, Trump was tricking and was betraying Iran, and all of us, we remember Iran Secretary of State Abbas, who said that United States betrayed the diplomacy and betrayed the negotiation. So for this reason, it is very difficult for both sides to come immediately to negotiation, and they need a broker. We are lucky because a very good broker and who is very much strong and concrete is Pakistan, could play a very important role between both sides. But now the war is continuing, but it is, I don't think that now there is a real ceasefire. Why? Because shipping blockade is a kind of military action. If you will say what's a shipping blockade is a kind of military action, this is first. And I think that now we are witnessing a low intensive war in the sea between Iran and between United States. How we will go to a dialogue under those circumstances while and this is very important to mention, while both sides consider himself that he has the upper hand. Iran says that we have the upper hand in the Gulf and the Hormuz Strait. United States says that we have the upper hand because we are the superpower and we have the strongest naval force in the world. So, for all those reasons, and in addition to that, there are internal factors in both countries. Inside Iran, no one knows exactly what is happening behind doors. And inside United States, there's a real struggle inside the Pentagon. And we didn't, and this is very important, brother Malik, to notice. We didn't hear the name of American Secretary of State during this war. Where is the man? What is he doing? What is his role? We don't hear anything about him. We are
Hmm.
hearing about Witkoff, about Gerd Kushner, but where is the Secretary of State of the United States? So there are a very, very big questions which must be replied from both United States and from both Iran to be able to estimate and to analyze the real situation about the possibility and likelihood of returning to the negotiating table between both
Hmm.
countries.
Okay. So what can be the reason of this Navy Secretary resignation? Because I think Pentagon mentioned that they might have differences with the Defense Secretary Patty Hegseth. So how you would like to comment?
I think yes, there's a real split inside the Pentagon. Because if you look at the Minister of Defense or the Minister of War now, it is the Ministry of War in the United States. Beth Hicks, he has no military experience, and I don't think that he's the right man to be the Secretary of War in the United States. He was a journalist, and he wasn't a so bright journalist, and not because he's a friend of Trump he became the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, and he wanted to impose his willing on the army officers, army professional, and well experienced officers who are working in the Pentagon decades and decades, and now he wants to impose his vision and his willing on them. And so the struggle began between both sides. And always we say that there is a kind of low tension or low intensive struggle between politicians and between army leaders in some instances, especially when politicians take the very big decision without consulting the army leaders and the officers. And I think the war in Iran began by a decision of Donald Trump, and he was instigated by Netanyahu. Go to the war with Iran. The war will be ended in 1 hour, and you will win. After you will kill the supreme leader of Iran, the Iranian people will protest against the government, and you will be the great hero of Iran, and we will. So, and aftermath, they discovered that the game is very complicated in Iran, and it is very, very hard to deal with Iran and all the estimations of the United States and the estimations of Israel and even the intelligence information about Iran wasn't correct. And now United States, Israel, and the Gulf nations and the international economy is trapped in this war.
Indeed, of course, they have the mean worst intelligence failure because they were expecting a 24 military operation and then they will be conquered Iran or regime change. So how you see the timing right now? Because at one side there is a US naval blockade going on into the state of the Hormuz. And does it signal that there is an instability in the US military leadership during a high stake crisis that US has facing right now? The resignation of naval secretary.
I think that now at present time, as you said, there is a real infight inside the Pentagon, and this infight between the Secretary of Navy and Pete Hicks, and I think that Secretary of Navy have left his work, and also there's a great struggle between the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll and Pete Hicks, so that I don't think any leadership, any military leadership, who is quarreling inside the rooms of leadership cannot go to a very big war, such a war with Iran. This is first. Second, I don't think that America now is ready to win the war immediately. If they will launch the war again, it will take more and more time, and that will impose a very heavy consequences on the international economy and the international stability. And let us talk about the economy of the world now. Many reports say that the aeroplanes in Europe cannot fly after 2 or 3 weeks because there isn't enough kerosene and fuel for the airplanes. This is first. Second, look at the chemical fertilizers for agriculture. The price is mounted about 50% to 60%. And look at the sulfur. which is a very important material in all kinds of industry. The prices of sulfur duplicated 2 or 3 times during the last area, because about 60% of the total production of sulfur in the world coming from the region. So you can imagine the great picture which now had been formed after the war against Iran, to add it to the picture inside the Pentagon. And I think that the strategic evaluation of this war now is, I mean, exactly at this point, the strategic evaluation of this war now is a position for dispute between political leaders, army leaders, inside, not only inside Pentagon. I think it is inside the United States, and as you know that President Trump is controversial and he is eccentric. You listen to Trump. I destroyed Iran. I destroyed the Iranian Navy. There is no Iran in the map. After 1 hour, we must go to war with Iran and we must put an end to the Iran nuclear program. After 3 hours, there is no nuclear program in Iran. I destroyed it totally. Those contradictions have been reflected in a very negative way on the army leadership, and on the political atmosphere, and on the military atmosphere inside the United States and inside all the world. Why? Because the United States, as a superpower and the most influential nation in the world, if this nation in a problem, you can imagine what will happen all around the world. And here, one of the most critical problems, how we will rearrange and organize the situation in Washington to organize the situation in the Gulf. And here is
So
the
let me,
most important
yeah, let me,
question.
Dr. Taleb, let me go to Islamabad with our guest Ali Abbas. Let me talk with him, because actually he's trying to join us with StreamYard, but also let me go to yes, Ali Abbas Ramay. So can you hear me? Hello. Yes, Ali Abbas, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So let me know what is the situation right now in Pakistan, because Pakistan is trying to mediate, and still I think that both parties from the US and from Iran, the participation has not been made possible, despite shuttle diplomacy and a lot of efforts did by Islamabad. So how you see that? Is there any expected meeting between Iranians and the United States in Islamabad?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Malik, for having me here. In a lighter mode, I want to say something that you asked me about the situation right now in Pakistan. And now you can see that I cannot connect with you via video call. I'm only available on an audio call. So here's the situation that Pakistan is trying to make. They are doing very well, and they are trying to negotiate, and they are trying to be a best mediator between US and Iran talks. And the deadlock in talks, I think, is continuous flowing through a back channel, I think. The gradual progress is going on. So I think it's a waiting theory they are using, Iran and USA. So that's why still Pakistan is trying to make its best option to make a deal between the US and Iran. So if we are talking about the Pakistan interest, yes, absolutely, Pakistan wants regional stability, because on the left side we have India, and the right side we have Afghanistan, and we are fighting with each other. And recently, in the last year, we have a fight with India, and now we are fighting with Afghanistan. So we need a stability in our region. So that's why Pakistan is trying to make a peace between both, China, like USA and Iran. On the other hand, Pakistan, now you are in China and we are in Pakistan. Now we have a crisis like we have energy crisis, we have a petroleum crisis. Not like a too much crisis we have. We are on a borderline of energy crisis and petroleum crisis right now. So that's why these are all our Pakistan interests, that we need to make a stability. And in diplomacy, because Pakistan become a very pivotal role in being a mediator in US and Iran, and Pakistan does not want to move, does not take any other country to disadvantage to make a mediator between US and Iran. That's another thing as a diplomacy concern.
So let me ask. Let me ask another question. That because Pakistan also have very strong ties with Saudi Arabia, and recently we saw that Pakistan gets some financial assistance from Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So do you think that Pakistan using this as a leverage to ease its economic problems?
Definitely, Pakistan is trying to make ease this. As you know, we have a pact with Saudi Arabia, and recently UAE demanded us of money from us that we are trying to roll over, but they asked us we need to get back. We need to give back. So now we are giving back. So I think the ceasefire between US and Iran cannot be done without Saudi Arabia and Qatar. We are in touch with them. And we are trying to make a peace between them. Can you hear me, Mr. Malik?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear. I have another question for you, so you can finish, and I can ask a follow-up question to you.
So we are in touch with those countries. Like we have to make a peace between US and Iran. So that's why we don't have another option. Like as I told you before, that as a diplomacy concern. Pakistan as emerging as a diplomatic and a regional in this regional area. So we need to being a perfect mediator, and we need to make a deal between USA and Iran. So we don't want to take any other country advantage of this mediator.
I got it. So let me know what are the major concerns by the Iranians, because I think that. That why Iranians are reluctant to come for the second round, and what are their demands?
Well, I think you also know that their concerns are very clear. Their concerns are that there's a high demanded from the USA. As we know, the last week when the situation, when the negotiation was being done in Islamabad, on that time, Iraqi, the foreign minister of Iran and the parliament leader, they told us that their demands, US demands are now getting more bigger and bigger for them. So that's what. The first thing is sanctions. Iran wants full removal of US economic sanction, which is hurting its economy. And there is another, Iran doesn't trust the US after past deal withdrawal. And everyone knows that, and they are saying with the louder words that in the past we were in a negotiation with USA. They declared us. And another thing is nuclear rights. Iran wants to continue uranium enrichment for its own use. They are very near, and they don't want to give to any other country, not like a USA. So there's other security concerns. They want an end to US military pressure on the blockades in the region, like near to the Strait of Hormuz. Their ports are being blocked by the US Navy. So they want to remove them. And another big thing, everyone knows that the frozen assets. Iran demands the release of its blocked money from abroad.
Okay.
And definitely the last thing, the respect and sovereignty. Iran wants a recognition of its regional role and independence.
I got it. I got your point. So let me know my final question to you. I think that because you did not, it's pity that you did not join us on the video call. So let me know that the US-Iran standoff in Strait of the Hormuz. So how much it add? Yes. Can you hear me? Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? So my question is this, that the US-Iran standoff in the Strait of Hormuz. So how you think that it could be becoming a problem, the economic effect on Pakistan economy? Mean that how much this can affect on the Pakistani trade and the economy?
Sorry, Mr. Malik, I can't hear your question. Can you repeat again?
My question is this, that the standoff between Iran and the US at the Strait of Hormuz, how much it can affect the Pakistan economy?
last word I heard from you, how much it affects the economy of Pakistan.
Yes. My question.
Well, the economy of Pakistan, I think right now we are under debt country and we are very concerned about this one. Because the state of Abbas, honestly speaking, we don't have much effects like on our energy concern. Sorry, Mr. Malik. Wait a moment.
So let me go to Dr. Taleb. Yes, Dr. Taleb. So I was with the Pakistani guest because I think he has a problem with connecting through the video link, but I think that he tell us something brief. So where you see Saudi Arabia here and Qatar, the major player in the Middle East. So where you see them in all this crisis? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Dr. Taleb? Hello? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Dr. Taleb, hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, Dr. Taleb? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I think that there is some problem. Hello, Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Dr. Taleb, hello? Can you hear me, Dr. Taleb? Hello? 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 Dr. Taleb, hello? Hello? I think we got some technical. Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Dr. Taleb? Hello? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Dr. Taleb, can you hear me? Hello? Dr. Taleb, can you speak?
Yeah, no, I can't hear you, Malik. I don't know what I
Now,
typed exactly.
now you can hear me. Now you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Mm.
I think there is some problem. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Malik, I cannot hear you.
Oh, I think I don't know. I think maybe there is some problem, maybe some technical problem, I think. Huh? You cannot hear me? Hello? 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 Maybe I think you have some problem. I think maybe your mic is not working, or maybe your headphone is not working, I think. I cannot hear you.
Hello, Malik. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can.
I cannot hear you
I can hear you, but I think that you cannot hear
at
me.
all.
Can you hear me? You cannot hear me. So I think that we got some technical problem. So I think that that is enough for this insight. We try our best to provide the analysis and the current situation in state of the Hormuz and the Iran, what's going on between Iran and the US, and especially in the aftermath of this US Navy Secretary John Phelan resignation. I was joined from Syria by Dr. Taleb Ibrahim, and from Islamabad I have joined by phone Mr. Ali Ramay. So I will conclude here my broadcast, and we will be again for some other topic next time. Thank you very much.